Tonight on the Night Team, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear making a stop in Louisville to rally alongside Blue Oval SK union workers.
Some of the materials that we have to inspect on my other cohort's parts is not safe.
What they're demanding from the battery plant. Plus, take a look at this. Crews on scene all day at Hospital Curve on I-65. How their treatment will hopefully prevent more semi-crashes along this stretch. And later, a 22-year-old cadet died during summer training at Fort Knox. What we know. Right now on the WHAS11 Night Team. Employees at Blue Oval SK rallying today for a fair contract at the plant, and they were joined by Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. It's our top story here on the Night Team. I'm Alex Dieterer. Today's rally comes as budget cuts from the Trump administration threaten to cut jobs from auto and battery industries in Kentucky. The rally took place at the first ever Kentucky Women's Union Summit. WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley heard what the plant employees are demanding amid the wait for the Glendale battery plant to open.
Union! Union!
At a labor union in Louisville.
This is a union town. This street's moved by union workers.
Blue Oval SK workers find support from a city built on union workers.
It's been a tough battle. I want to be able to sit down and have my say with Blue Oval and help them and us together succeed in a long future.
Workers of the massive battery plant developing in Glendale, Kentucky join union advocates miles north in Louisville, garnering support as they work to form their own union. The nearly complete electric battery plant, Blue Oval SK or BOSC, has at least 800 employees. Officials with the union say a reported supermajority of workers want to join a union. After months of pushing, those employees have received the okay to hold an election and enter the bargaining stage.
Next time you see me, we will be in negotiations.
BOSC workers are asking for improved safety, affordable health care, and job security.
There's some hazardous chemicals we work with. It took a while to get proper PPE.
Workers claim they've been harassed for wanting to unionize.
We get rode up if we're talking about the union.
And shown anti-union ads.
My second day in training, I didn't know what day I was supposed to come back. I didn't know what time I was leaving. I didn't know what lunch was. But they managed to find time to throw in an anti-union presentation.
Multiple politicians showed their support for their cause.
We know what a union does. It's not just workers' rights, it's workers' guarantees.
Including Governor Andy Beshear, who supported their efforts from the beginning.
Listen, being pro-union, it creates jobs. It creates opportunities.
We've been fighting this whole time and we're not going to stop.
Fighting for a union in a plant expected to bring 5,000 more jobs to Kentucky. Off Preston Highway, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
In a statement shared with WHAS 11, a spokesperson for Blue Oval SK said in part, quote, "Our team members have endured months of union sales tactics and slanders against their exciting jobs and proud accomplishments. They are ready for their voices to be heard now. The UAW's efforts to prevent them from getting a secret ballot vote now demonstrates the union only wants to control, not listen to the Blue Oval SK team members building a new future for themselves, their families, and their community at Kentucky One," end quote. Well, you may have noticed some changes along I-65. Major work on the highway in downtown Louisville has been underway, and you're taking a live look right now at crews that have been out all day today working to repair part of Hospital Curve. The state closed the left 3 lanes on the Kennedy Bridge to limit access to I-65. The state is adding a special new substance at the end of the bridge to help add traction. The Louisville, Kentucky Transportation Office explains that the high friction treatment will help to improve traction in wet conditions and will extend the life of the concrete. The work is underway because of the harrowing crashes involving semis that have happened since Derby morning. 4 in nearly the same stretch, 2 of which have required the driver to be rescued. In one case, a semi collapsed off I-65 in a ball of flames. Accident reports from all 4 of those crashes show the road conditions as wet and the weather as rainy.
It's almost like being on a concrete floor of a shop. When it's wet, you slip and slide, and we don't drive small vehicles and they're heavy and they need something to grip on the road.
Speed, the rain, the conditions of the roadway, and then also the sudden lane change.
Suburban Towing did tell us that KYTC did do an epoxy treatment a while ago at Hospital Curve, and it did reduce the number of crashes they saw there. Lanes will reopen Monday morning at 5. More than 80 million Americans are under heat alerts right now. The current epicenter of the heat, which is in North and South Carolina, has a feels-like temperature of up to 115 degrees. Days of temperatures in the upper 80s and 90s caused a road to buckle in Madison County, Mississippi. This forced closures on the highway until crews could make repairs. Smoke from the Canadian wildfires is bringing unhealthy air quality to parts of the Northeast, including New York and Boston. And in the past couple of weeks, New York City reported nearly 150 heat-related ER visits. First responders say the most dangerous signs can be easy to miss.
What doesn't the public realize about heat illness?
Well, I think most people get caught up in your daily life and you don't realize how heat can affect you. And most people, there's no symptoms of it really until it hits you where you feel like you're dizzy, you're going to pass out.
In the next couple of days, remember to stay hydrated, stay cool, and limit your time outside. And that story is no different here in Kentucky. We are under a heat advisory, which has been extended through at least Wednesday now. Meteorologist Danielle Moss joins us now from the Weather Center with a look at some scattered showers now heading our way tomorrow. Danielle.
Well, today was another hot day. Highs 92 degrees. It definitely was humid outside, so it felt hotter than that actual temperature. A little bit above our average of 89, but far away from that record that was set in 1952. Over the next 12 hours, we're going to be taking a dip down into the upper 70s. It's definitely going to be a nice cloudy start to your Sunday morning, and we're going to be hot in a hurry. In fact, 1 p.m., 90 degrees. That's not factoring in what it's going to feel like for Sunday. As we take a look at our futurecast, what can we expect? Are we looking at any rainfall for tomorrow? We will start to see a pretty nice line of storms making its way to our area really for your Sunday evening. Sunday afternoon looking partly cloudy, temperatures into the low 90s. And then as we head into the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock hours, we start to see some scattered showers starting to develop across the area. That's going to cool us off really nicely throughout your Sunday. And we'll have a few brief periods of heavy rainfall. Have more details on the heat coming up in my full forecast.
Overseas now, amid the growing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Israel now says it will allow aid. It follows outrage over malnutrition and starvation, especially among children, and the urgent call for a ceasefire collapse. ABC's Dave Packer has where things stand.
Tonight, aid drops in Gaza resuming as concerns over mass starvation grow. Aid agencies say airdrops are the most inefficient way to get aid in. Prior to those drops, groups swarming the few aid trucks allowed in, thousands walking for miles for a single meal. I've come all this way risking my life for my children, this woman says. My children have not eaten for a week. In Gaza City, men walking by the rubble of buildings, some carrying bags of flour. I brought flour for the children, this man claims. The media banned from entering Gaza, where aid groups say tens of thousands are on the brink of starvation. Israel's foreign ministry says there will be a humanitarian pause in civilian centers and humanitarian corridors to allow for the passage of aid. More than 125 people, including children, dying from starvation, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. Dozens of people killed trying to reach that desperately needed aid after local officials say Israeli forces allegedly opened fire on civilians in 2 separate incidents. Israel accusing Hamas of looting and obstructing aid routes. But U.S. Aid Review says they found no evidence of widespread aid diversion by Hamas. The State Department and Israel pushing back against those findings. Israel and the U.S. have pulled out of Gaza ceasefire talks. President Trump telling Israel to, quote, finish the job and get rid of Hamas. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
New tonight, at least 11 people were stabbed at a Walmart in Michigan. All 11 were taken to the hospital. 6 of them have been severely injured. Emergency vehicles and first responders were seen outside the store following the incident. Traverse County officers are saying it was a random act. The weapon appeared to be a folding-style knife. The suspect is currently in custody. And also new tonight, a landlord jailed for decades after he attacked a Palestinian American boy and his mother has died. Joseph Zuba died Thursday in the custody of the Illinois Department of Corrections. 3 months ago, Zuba was sentenced to 53 years behind bars for the attack. He was found guilty in February of murder, attempted murder, and hate crime charges in the death of a Palestinian American boy and his mother. 2 men are arrested and face multiple charges following an investigation regarding the possession of child sex abuse material. 47-year-old Frederick Capps and 46-year-old Colin Ritter, both from Jeffersonville, have been charged. According to Jeffersonville police, detectives began 2 unrelated investigations back in May, and those investigations led to 2 search warrants at separate residences at the Woods apartment complex. During the search, officials found numerous items of child sex abuse materials related to both of these men. Officials say Capps and Ritter used the internet to transmit images and videos of underage children. Police say there is no indication that the 2 men are connected in any way. Some sad news here tonight at 11. A cadet has died during summer training at Fort Knox. 22-year-old Neil Adara joined ROTC while at Rutgers University and attended cadet summer training as part of the 9th Regiment Advanced Camp. Fort Knox officials say Adara became unresponsive while conducting land navigation training and received immediate medical attention. He was then transported to U of L Hospital. Adara died at the hospital on July 24th. The cause of his death is still under investigation, and a private memorial service for Adara is planned for cadets attending cadet summer training on July 28th. New here at 11, women in legislatures across the United States are fighting for potty parity. In Kentucky, female lawmakers face a restroom shortage in the state house. Female legislators, 41 of the 138-member legislature, need a reprieve during a lengthy floor session, have to weigh the risk of missing an important debate or a critical vote, although multiple men's bathrooms are available. The legislature even installed speakers in the men's bathrooms to broadcast the chamber's events so they don't miss anything important. But a $3 million renovation aims to address the issue by 2028. Well, today, the Jella Family McDonald's organization hosted a back-to-school giveaway. The organization aims to help local families gear up for the school year. Kids in the community received a backpack filled with essential school supplies. The event had a variety of family-friendly activities like face painting and appearances by McDonald's characters. And back-to-school season is upon us. Some Kentuckiana districts return to the classroom as early as next week, and we want to see your first day photos. You can text them to the number right here on your screen, 502-582-7290, and you just might be featured on WHAS 11 News.